Today's episode is extra special because I am joined by my sister, Melanie LeGrand. She is a powerhouse in the world of social impact, philanthropy, and corporate responsibility. And with over 2 decades of experience leading initiatives at Major League Baseball, the Baltimore Ravens, and Amazon Web Services, Melanie knows firsthand how business owners, no matter their size, can give back in meaningful ways. So today we're diving into how you can use your time, talent, and treasure to create a ripple effect of change in your business and your community. Okay, welcome back. We have a special guest on my podcast today, my big sister, Melanie. Hello. My big sister, there's 3 of us, but you are still my big sister because you're in the middle.
That's true.
I'm so excited to have Melanie here. She is a powerhouse, y'all. This is going to be a really good conversation because as entrepreneurs, there's so many ways we can impact the world. And one of them is through social impact. And this is where Melanie is the pro. I mean, Melanie, you've worked with the Baltimore Ravens, Major League Baseball, Amazon.
Yeah.
You're currently the managing director of Panorama Strategy. And the through line through all of this has been social impact.
True. Very true.
Like, how did you even say, like, this is what my life's work is going to be?
Oh, goodness. I mean, when I was young, so we are military children.
Yes.
And we have a really strong, beautiful mother. And there is an ethos of service to others. Obviously, our father served in the military. Right. And so that's kind of ingrained in us. I mean, in high school, I was doing things like the Key Club. If people remember the Key Club, is it still in the weekends? I was in Mu Alpha Theta, the Math Honor Society, and we did service to others. And so I was doing things with, walking dogs and going to the Boys and Girls Club when I was 16. So it was really a part of me. I'm one of those people who feels, whoever said the quote the first time, that the service that you do for others, that's the rent you pay to live on this earth. And so, I don't know, it's been part of my personality and who I am as a person for a very long time. And I mean, I could go way down the rabbit hole of telling you how I got into the work for sure.
Yeah. And I feel like every job you've had, they are like blown away. Like you probably have changed the lives and the businesses of like so many. It's just wild. And your resume is crazy. Like it's just crazy. And I was like, I want to have this conversation about how we as small business owners can do this type of work. Like I remember I went with you to work one day, the Baltimore Ravens.
Yep.
You were there for a long time. How many years were you there?
8 years. 8 years. 8 years.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I just graduated college and I was like, I want to see what it's like to work, at a real job and blah, blah, blah. And you had this office where you could see the field where it's at the practice facility, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And I'm not even a big football fan, but I was texting Sean all these players who were coming in and signing footballs and planning to go build a playground and all these things. And I was like, what a cool job you have to take regular people and they're not regular, they're football players, but still they're regular people just like us.
They are people.
And they are people and create such an impact. And you do that in every organization that you go to. And so I want to kind of talk about different ways that we can do that. And I've seen you do that through your personal life and your business and your job.
Yeah.
Through time, giving back through time, giving back through dollar bills, your money.
Yeah.
And then giving back through your influence. So can you share some ways that entrepreneurs, maybe just a solopreneur, someone who's working just for themselves, or they might have a small team or a bigger team, let's kind of break it up. So like with time, what can we do to be giving back to the community with our time?
Yeah. And I'll give you the trio that we use in this kind of world. It's called time, talent, treasure. Or in some other places, it's called work, wealth, and wisdom.
Okay.
So go with whatever trio you want. But if you start with the time, we have that in abundance, even though you feel like you don't, right? I'm running out of time. I can't do all the things in the day. But you make the choices for how you spend your time. It's all about the choices you make. And you can make choices as an entrepreneur, as a photographer, as a whatever you're doing, as a person who owns a small business, right? You can dedicate a portion of your time to serve others. So there's things like volunteering.
Yes.
You could do volunteering in your personal life. I have matched so many employees and individuals and family members to volunteer opportunities based on what they're passionate about. right?
Right.
I think
Right.
sometimes when people who are not exposed to volunteering, they initially are like, okay, I got to go to a soup kitchen. I'm going to go pick weeds. There's
Hmm.
so many
Hmm.
things you can do to volunteer time. So you can,
You literally serve food on Thanksgiving. Like
yeah,
that's how I've seen you do your time. You do Habitat for
I
Humanity, you go to
do.
service projects, and I'm like, this girl is like clocking in with her
Yeah.
time
It,
for
it,
helping people.
it fuels me. It fills my soul. It grounds me. Like,
Hmm.
what a blessing that I have, that God has given me to be able to live this life that I live. I have to give back. I have
Hmm.
to,
Right.
who would I be if I did not, you know, thank my God to say,
Yeah.
I'm at your, disposal to do what you need me to do in the community. And so,
Right.
but anybody can do that no matter what you want to do. So there are
Exactly.
things like direct service volunteering. So if you're just
Hmm.
going out, take your children, try to build in them this character
Yes.
and also have
Yes.
them understand what it is to live in different circumstances and be exposed to different opportunities. I mean,
Hmm.
you can do things. We talked about this. You literally, Angie, we talked about this. Our father is going to go to the local SPCA to walk dogs. He wants to get a dog so bad. Mom
I
won't let
know.
him.
Nope, she won't.
And so, how wonderful it is for him to spend an hour a week.
Yeah,
Let me go to this place where the dogs are not able to be, out and about. Like, that's great.
exactly.
That's just
Hmm.
direct services, right? You can go to
Hmm.
a food bank. My boyfriend is the chief development officer at the LA Food Bank. I volunteer there
Wow.
often. I
Yes,
go,
yes,
I
you do.
package up boxes. They give to the seniors, they give to children
Hmm.
in schools, those types of things. And you can do things like what you just said, right? Habitat for Humanity. I
Right.
love a good 9 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. shift where I'm pretending like I'm a carpenter. I'm laying down floors, Pergo. I'm laying down floors.
You probably learned so much doing
You
that.
do. It's for you as much as it is
Yeah.
for the community.
Hmm.
Like, you're building skills. There's
Right.
things, there's green type things. I mean, this, my birthday is Earth Day. There's always
Yeah.
an environmental type of project that I have in the year.
Hmm.
Planting, building, bringing trees into the world. Like, that to
Yes.
me, I get excited
I
about it.
love
So
that.
that's direct
I love that.
services.
Hmm.
And then the flip side of that is skills-based volunteering, right?
Yeah.
What do you have that's a skill that you can bring? There's so many other skills. There's skills like your photography skills, there's skills like your ownership skills, marketing skills.
Yeah.
If
Uh-huh.
there is an organization or another small business, woman-owned small business that you're like, look, I saw her website. She's struggling a little bit.
Oh my gosh, it
And
happens all the
you,
time.
all the time. You could literally be like, hey, I saw this. I know you're up and coming. I'd love to give you 30 minutes of my time, walk you through some 2 to 3 improvements for your
Yeah.
site.
I
That's
love
that's
that.
nothing. That's
Hmm.
30
Hmm.
minutes that you don't watch a sitcom, you know?
Exactly.
You just push it
Exactly.
off. So yeah, small actions, big impact. It's really about what can you do with your
Hmm.
time to serve others.
Hmm. That's such a great place to start as an entrepreneur because you know, people might not be making the income they're wanting to be making yet, but they
Right.
still want to give back. It's literally just your time, your
Yeah.
energy, and that's a great place to start if you're looking to give back. I love the breakdown of skill based because so many entrepreneurs have some sort of
Of
skill like
course.
that they specialize in, and there are people who could really use that help. And I just love that. So that's a great one. Okay,
Yeah.
talk to us about funds, money, dollar bills.
Treasure in the
Yes.
T or wealth in the W,
Hmm.
triple, whatever.
Hmm.
So, okay, right. I have a number of books on philanthropy. And one of the books is called like Everyday Philanthropist. You don't
Cool.
have to have, first of all, we're all rich because we all, of sane body, mind, and health and soul.
Uh-huh.
But the wealth, you don't have to be wealthy to give
Right.
away funds, right? You're
Right.
probably doing it every day. When you tithe, when you give an offering, when you give, $1 to a person who's in need, maybe, on
Hmm.
a street corner or something like that,
Right.
that is giving of your funds to serve others, right? It's about
Right.
how you think about it. Now, there's other more professionalized ways to do it, right? And so
Right.
you could set aside a portion of your profits. to get to a cause that's aligned to your brand and to your personal mission, or something that really supports you and your children and your family's goals, And like I said before, if you have kids, I don't, but I know how important it is to build it in the generations. But if you have kids, you've got the thing in your house: save, spend, give. Like when you gave your $3 to, you go to a local store during school supplies season. It's August. And you're with your child and you're buying the folders and the pens and the pencils and the long list you have to buy. You can say to the child and for yourself, hey, Koa, well, how about we purchase an extra folder and we'll give it to your teacher so that your teacher can have it available for someone who wasn't able to get it themselves.
Love that.
Like that's such a small, purpose-driven individual act of philanthropy. You don't have to drop a check for $10,000 to the local Girls Inc. or YMCA. You can just say, I'm going to buy an extra blank. I took mom and dad out to dinner a few weeks ago when I was there in February in Newport News. And we went to Cheddar's, right? We love Cheddar's.
Right.
We love Cheddar's. We love those biscuits.
The biscuits.
And then there was an older couple next to us. And I went, to our server in between our meal. And I said, hey, I could hear them rifling through their purses and wallet. Oh, we have a gift card. We're going to use a gift card. And I was like, not today. I've got you today. Right. Especially in this world now of polarization, bringing people together and showing humanity that you care about each other.
We have to actively do that.
Yeah. So I went and I took care of their meal and told the server not even to say who it was.
Oh, that is so sweet.
Right? My boss years ago said, let your success be your reward. You don't got to talk about it. You don't got to take responsibility. Just know that couple saved their gift card for another day. They can go out to Cheddar's twice, not just the one time they got the gift card. So there's things like that
pay it forward.
Pay it forward. There's that. We do this all the time. When you go through a toll.
Right.
Oh, here's $2
behind you.
I'll pay for the person behind me. Like that is that everyday philanthropist mindset. You don't have to, like I said, drop 1,000, 10,000, whatever kind of check. You can do things in a way every day. Like photographers that are in crisis. We had the wildfires here. What if I had, extra lens wipes or extra whatever? I don't even know all the tools and tips and tricks. But if I posted into my Facebook group for photographers in the LA area, I would probably be able to find someone that could be like, you know what? I lost all my gear.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So there's things you can do that are, again, small actions, big impact, that would be important for you in a way that you can use that treasure that you have.
I love that. And the phrase everyday philanthropist, I love that. It's like you have to get into a mindset of it instead of thinking of like, okay, how, a checklist or something. It's just, if it's in your everyday mindset, it just comes natural to you. You start to see the opportunities to give back.
Yeah.
I love that. It makes me think of, and it doesn't always have to be an organization, or it could literally be a friend in need. Like I remember when Sonia, our family friend, was diagnosed with breast cancer, maybe 10 years ago. And I felt so helpless. Like, how can I help her? How can I help her? And I remember doing mini sessions.
Those photos were amazing.
And on the top of the sales page for mini sessions, I said 100% of the cost of the mini session is going to her treatment. And so this kind of goes with time and funds, but what can you do in your business where revenue comes in for a sole purpose to help someone, to help a person that to help an organization? That's really good. That's really good.
And sometimes, you can call it, the things that you do that we've spoken about in the time category and in the talent category, where, all these pieces, you can, or treasure and time, you can really just use that as part of your professional identity. And that in turn brings people to you when they see that you live your values through your work. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
can do that. You can put it, I mean, you don't really use resumes the same, but it's on your LinkedIn, it's on your
Right.
profile, it's in your Facebook page, it's on your
Right.
website. Like, you know, this business, one of our values is service to others. Like,
Yes.
and then to be able to live that and show it, like that
Mhm.
attracts people to you.
I love that for sure. Well, that brings us in the perfect direction to talk about influence, how we can give
Yes.
back with influence.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you look at the three things, right? Right. We did
Hmm.
time, we did
Hmm.
treasure.
Yep.
This is kind of that talent piece, or we did wealth.
Hmm.
And so we did work. This is the wisdom piece. Like,
Okay.
what do
Hmm.
you have that you can leverage, utilize to build and amplify other voices and causes,
Right.
right? So this is your influence piece. And so how are you using your platform to spotlight different causes?
Right.
How are you using your platform to amplify underrepresented voices?
Mm-hmm.
How are you
Hmm.
using your platform and your business to demonstrate that you adhere to ethical business practices,
Right.
right? And you can
Right.
speak more on that. Like, what are some business practices that you're like, that person did that? That's shady. What's the opposite of that? Like, that
Right.
person did that particular thing. Wow, that was really on the up and up in terms of their practices, and
Hmm.
I'm demonstrating that through social so that other people can see that and do that as well. Like, that's your influence. Like, what are you doing
Right.
and saying that others can
Yes.
can you know
Yes.
repeat?
Yes. And especially in controversial times when you see a business, like you said, you're like, that's pretty shady. Like if you have been and supported that business for a while,
Right,
you need to kind of, are you continuing on with that relationship or
right,
are you not?
right.
So
It's
yeah,
totally
that,
true. The
mm-hmm.
influence goes both ways.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
we're talking about giving back with influence, but you have influence both ways. And if you are supporting something or, shouting out somebody who's not doing right,
Right.
that's not good. So you have to think about your
Mm-hmm.
influence and
Mm-hmm.
use it for good, right?
Yeah.
Wicked. For
Such a good movie.
good. Yeah. So I mean you don't have to be like an advocate. You don't have to be on your pulpit, preaching
Hmm.
to whoever, but
Right.
you can use your influence by, like we said before, amplifying other voices,
Hmm. Hmm.
so you could be partnering with a mission driven brand if you
Yeah.
could,
Like really
partnering.
shine the light on these companies who might not have the eyes on them. You could just be
Exactly.
literally sharing about the companies that you support.
Exactly. Exactly.
Hmm.
Especially those who align with the values that you are trying to, live every day and really just put on blast so others can follow.
Right. Right. Man, this is good. I'm like my mind is like, okay, who do I want to shout out today? Who
Yeah,
can I,
it's so
you know?
simple. It's so
Hmm.
simple. We do this a lot on LinkedIn. And I
Yeah.
know it isn't the exact same thing, what you
Hmm.
all may leverage in this particular industry,
Hmm.
but you're like, my friend, Doctor, let me get it right, Doctor
Doctor.
Yolanda Holloway. I'm gonna shout her out because I
I
love
know
her.
that's right. Hey,
You know
Yolanda.
it. You know Yolanda. So we met in college, like our
Hmm.
first, gosh, the first day we were in the dorms
Wow.
in college because we were in the band together. So we went early.
Yeah.
Yolanda and
Hmm.
I have been friends since, almost 30 years now since I
Oh my
started
gosh.
college. And
Hmm.
so she has her degree. She went on to teach. She has risen so beautifully in her career that now she is the principal of a middle school in Maryland. And
Wow.
I love to
Wow.
watch her shine. And so
Hmm.
just the other day, she alerted me and a few others of us from college that she had been appointed to the Juvenile Services Education Board of the state of
Wow.
Maryland.
Oh my gosh.
The state
Oh
of
my
Maryland.
goodness.
So
That's
she went
incredible.
to like the Capitol building in Annapolis. The governor was there. They were like, hey, you are on the board, blah, blah, blah. And
Uh-huh.
and it was beautiful. Like friends of
Wow.
ours went and sat in the seats.
Yes.
And then
Hmm.
I was like, you know what? I saw her post on LinkedIn a little video, and I was like, I'm not only gonna comment and like this, let me start an organic post. Let me repost
Yes.
this,
Amplify it.
and with some words, right? And say,
Right.
hey, just so y'all know, my girl, Dr. Yolanda
Doctor.
Holloway, has been
Uh-huh.
appointed to this board. Like that
Wow.
is using my influence, my 3, 4, whatever thousand LinkedIn followers will
Hmm.
now see that I'm promoting that and that I care about what she does in education and who she is as a person and as my friend. That
Yeah.
took me no money. It took me zero, like 0.1 second of my time.
Hmm.
That's what influence is. That's what you do.
I know that's right. That is so awesome. Like you said, not just sharing, but creating organic content around it with your, perspective and all of that. That just is totally going to amplify the
Yeah.
entire thing. So I love that. I need to get on LinkedIn and see who I can share about.
Yeah.
I'm like taking notes, like, okay, I post a couple things here and there on LinkedIn, like about my business and my clients. And I need to just read the feed once in a while and see what's going on, see what people are doing, see how they're making an impact, and just resharing and commenting and engaging.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
good stuff.
And sometimes
That's
you're
great.
like, oh, I reposted or I liked and it didn't really make a difference. And then down the
Hmm.
line, you get a note from someone like, I follow what you're doing. You're always reposting things that are of interest to me. Like, oh, I didn't know that you cared about that. Like,
People are
again,
lurking.
people are working. What did we say in the beginning? Let your success be your reward. You're not doing
Hmm.
this for someone to come back and be like, I saw you gave me a shout out. Thank
Right.
you. You're doing
Right.
it
Pat on the
because
back.
it's service to others
Right.
and it feels good.
Right. Right. Melanie, this is awesome. Thank you so much for diving into each of these. Can we talk a little bit about the ripple effect of
Yeah.
all of this? Like,
Yeah.
even if someone starts very small, like, just how does that ripple onto impacting the world?
Yeah, I mean, it is that ripple effect. It's like acts of kindness, acts of goodwill, acts of generosity. They
Right.
do create that meaningful change, right?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
so, if it's, hey, I got you, let me get this free headshot for you because I know you're struggling and you're trying to get yourself out there, whether
Right.
it's like using your brand on social to support a cause or a person,
Hmm.
each of those things, everything matters. Every effort that
Right.
you put into place
Right.
matters. It matters to who you are serving. It
Hmm.
matters to you because it fuels your spirit and fills you up. And it matters to the world and to you professionally because you
Right.
can utilize those stories as part of your story. When people are
Hmm.
like, who are you and what do you do? You can start off and say, I'm a branding photographer, but you can
Right.
say, I'm a branding photographer who lives her values by supporting those in underserved communities or
Yeah.
through the work I do through X, Y, and Z. Like that
Hmm.
adds to your story. So, I mean,
Hmm.
it has a ripple effect. I'm one of those people who believe that what you put out in the world comes back to you. And
Yes.
so,
Yes.
this is part of that work.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you tell us, speaking of work, can you tell us a little bit about more you do as the managing director of Panorama Strategy?
Yeah, you talked about it at the beginning. I have done social impact for over 2 decades now, which is
Yeah.
crazy.
Uh-huh.
And,
Uh-huh.
the beginning of how I started was I graduated college, went to work for a very large corporation that
Uh-huh.
it didn't serve me. And I tend not to
Hmm.
stay in places that do not serve.
I know
Let's,
that's right.
let's just
Uh-huh.
put it like that. And so, meanwhile, I would take days off from that job 25 years ago, and
Hmm.
I would go volunteer for the Baltimore Ravens.
Hmm.
Sports really spoke to me,
Yeah.
and I loved the media relations, public relations side of it. Like, how do I utilize the resources at my disposal to promote
Hmm.
this brand, to promote, the players and the team and all those things to drive business growth, right?
Right.
And so, anyway, long story made bearable, I was able to get started at the Baltimore Ravens full time in 2004. But the
Hmm.
position they had available was a community relations assistant.
Right.
For me, that person reported into the SVP of public relations. And I was like, oh, okay,
Hmm.
this is my jam. I'm not
Yeah.
going to be working on statistics and,
Right.
I'm not going to be getting XYZ player to go on ESPN, but I can
Hmm.
work with XYZ player and, XYZ coach to get them in the community, to build our community
Exactly.
around us.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
that's how it started 21 years ago. And all of my jobs have been in that world. And the
Mm-hmm.
work that I do throughout is thinking through what are the resources
Mm-hmm.
available to me to inspire and to drive growth and change in communities.
Right.
And so right
Right.
now at Panorama Strategy, it's a beautiful place because I'm at a social purpose corporation. We're a small social impact consulting firm. We have a
Mm-hmm.
team of less than 10 people, but we're focused on working with big philanthropies, small
Yeah.
nonprofits, individuals, corporations, and
Mm-hmm.
helping them to leverage their resources to inspire change and create, goodwill and accelerate progress in local and global communities. And so I
Right.
can be really specific and say, oh, I worked with this particular nonprofit to do a strategic plan to help
Mm-hmm.
set them on their path for the next 3 to 5 years. That
Mm-hmm.
kind of work. Other people
Right.
on my team do things like, okay, I'm going to work on this advocacy asset to help individuals and organizations understand the importance of supporting people who have type 1 diabetes in
Mm.
low and middle income countries, right?
Right.
So we
Mm-hmm.
we do a lot of work. We're at our core about working with change makers
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
to really do great things in the world.
It's so cool how you went from working in a department in a bigger organization, and your department is all around, community relations, social impact, all of that. And now that's the company that you work for that gets to help other companies. Like
Yeah.
the way that you are amplifying, it's insane. It's insane to see your trajectory of your career. Like this is such a sweet spot for you to be in because the ripple effect that you've had from now is like turning into waves. It's
Yeah.
like turning into tsunamis. Like
Very
the
kind.
way
Yeah.
that the way
Mhm.
the way that you are pouring into these other companies. So thank you for taking the time to chat with me, to chat with your little sister today about how we can do this at whatever level we're at in business, whether someone has started their business yesterday, a year ago, 5, 10 years ago, whether they have a team of one like me or a team
Yeah.
of 2 to 10. There's so many ways that we could be giving back. So,
Yeah.
Melody, thank you so much. How can we connect with you? How can my audience connect with you?
I'm on LinkedIn,
Yes,
Melanie Legrand, and I know you'll have that in the show notes.
absolutely.
I mean, that's basically me. I'm not on like X or anything. I'm on
Uh-huh.
Facebook, but that's all my personal. I
Uh-huh.
love Instagram, so I'm on
Yes,
Instagram. I think I'm at Melanie NY. No, I changed it. That's right. I'm at
Mel on
Mel
the map.
underscore on the map because I like
Yep.
traveling and doing all the
Yes,
things.
yes.
So yeah,
Perfect.
find me there. Hit me up, send me a message. Love to help anybody in your community, Angie, to think about how they can make change in communities and do great things.
Awesome. Thanks so much. I will link Melanie's socials and her LinkedIn in the show notes. Be sure to check her out. She's so inspiring. You can really see the impact that she's making and how you can be making an impact yourself. So thanks, Mel.
Mwah. Appreciate you. Thanks for having me.